Hello, we're going to go ahead and get started now. Come on up, elected. All right, good morning and welcome. I'd like to, on behalf of the City of Vacaville and our mayor and our city council members who are here today, I'd like to thank you all for being here at the site of our I-505 Vaca Valley Parkway Intermodal Improvement Project. This is a very exciting project for our community as it provides a lot of great benefits from an infrastructure standpoint, but even just as important and more exciting is the potential economic benefits that it brings to our community. Our city council has, over the past couple of years, invested in a biomanufacturing strategy and an advanced manufacturing strategy that surround this area right here that will provide more detail in just a moment. But these improvements here that are going to be partially funded by the recently passed Infrastructure and Jobs Act is a very exciting project for our community. And so I'd like to thank you all for being here so we have the opportunity to highlight those improvements. And the benefits of the new recently passed legislation. So on behalf again of the City Council, I'd like to thank Congressman John Garamendi and Mike Thompson for being here. I'd also like to acknowledge Supervisors John Vasquez and Mitch Mashburn for being here, the representatives from the Solano Transportation Authority and their team, and representatives from Caltrans, as well as our staff that has been working very tirelessly on this project. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Congressman John Garamendi, who's going to talk to you for a few moments, and then we'll pass it along. So thank you.
Garen, thank you so very, very much. It's a great pleasure to be with all of you today, and particularly with my colleague Mike Thompson. For the last decade, Mike and I have had the pleasure, the work, and the honor of representing Solano County. More on the east side for me, more on the west side for Mike. But here we are in the middle. We're also in the middle of an extraordinary part of the world economy. This is the heart of the Agricultural Research and Manufacturing Center of California, and therefore the center of the world. There's no place else in the world. Are we ready?
Some other country protesting.
Yeah. They don't like us to be the best, but we are the best. There's no place else that has the parts and elements necessary to grow the future economy of the world, the future food of the world, and the medicine that are going to be needed to address pandemics and other diseases that confront us. You can start in Sacramento with the University of California Medical Center. You move to Davis and the extraordinary research, the greatest agricultural research place in the entire world. And from that, all around this area, we're now seeing additional companies coming to the area to establish research facilities, and just as important, the manufacturing. Just across the street here is the largest biopharmaceutical manufacturing facility in the world. And it's not going to be the only one in this area. This interchange here, this overpass here, is critical. It is a critical piece of the infrastructure necessary for those research facilities and those manufacturing facilities to be able to be located here. I want to reach out to the city and say thank you for your vision. Now, the mayor's not with us here today, but he certainly has been leading this along with the city council and the others in the area. The supervisors will introduce John in a few moments. Also, working together with the city and the concept of what can be. Now, this research, we call it the Interstate 80. Bio-Agricultural Research and Manufacturing Corridor. It doesn't end in Solano County. Interstate 80 goes right to the heart of the Bay Area. The University of California anchors the southwestern portion of this incredible corridor. So today we're in the heart of it. Today, for the last decade, Mike Thompson is joining us here in Vacaville. He's represented the Vallejo-Benicia area for the last decade, and I think beyond that, Mike. And now we'll have the opportunity to contest. You're going to get a duet here. Mike and I have worked, as I say, for the last decade for Solano County. We may shift locations as we come into the new redistricting, but we're going to continue to work as a duet, work together to meet the needs of the county and whatever is going on at the federal government. So allow me to introduce my colleague and great friend, Mike Thompson. Mike?
John, thank you very much, and I concur with all that. John and I have worked together for a long time, and for the last 10 years we've shared Solano County, and I think we've worked well together to represent the people who sent us to Washington. And John's right, the lines are changing a little bit. I'm very pleased and very honored to be back in this part of Solano County. I've represented Vacaville and all of Solano one time or another, both in Congress and in the state Senate, and it's good to be back and to be able to work with all of you and to continue to work with John. And the part of Solano County that I represent now that John's going to take over, I know will be in good hands. He'll work hard for that area as he's worked hard for this area in the past, and we will continue, a partnership will continue to work together. I'm pleased to join you today to talk about the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, a $1.2 trillion piece of the legislation that will create 2 million jobs a year for the next 10 years. So this is an important piece of legislation. The most important piece of infrastructure legislation to pass the Congress and be signed into law in any of our lifetime. This is here. This equates with the interstate transportation legislation in the Eisenhower administration that linked everything together across the country. This is a major investment, and California is going to benefit greatly from this investment. We'll get about $30 billion for highways in California, about $4 billion for bridges, $10 billion for transit. There's $385 million in this bill for electric vehicle charging stations up and down the state. A real down payment in our effort to address climate change. For those of us who were affected by the wildfires for the last 5 years, seemingly the last 50 years, there's good news in this bill for that as well. There's wildfire mitigation funds that will be included. And for everyone who recognizes, and people from Vacaville most certainly do understand the importance of broadband, there's at least $100 million for California for the expansion of broadband. So this is going to be important for all of us from a quality of life perspective, from a job enhancement and commerce enhancement perspective, from an environmental perspective. This is important legislation. I was honored and proud to be with John. We went to the White House when the president signed this bill into law, and I'm as honored and as proud to be here today with local elected leaders and my friend John Garamendi to make sure that everybody knows how important this is for our area. Thank you, and as we say in Washington, I'll yield back.
Michael, thank you very much for laying out all of the elements in the infrastructure bill. Our task is to bring that home, to bring that money back into this community through the purposes of this overpass and improvement here. There's also money in the bill for sanitation systems and water systems. So those are the tasks that all of us are going to share. We'll be working with the communities here to accomplish that. And certainly, we ought to talk about the community we're in right now, which is Vacaville. By the way, Mike, you don't have all of that. Jeanette over there and I get to represent the eastern part of Vacaville, on the eastern outskirts of the city. So looking forward, Ray Lefferts, you're around. Where are you, Ray? There you are, representing the city. Ray, have at it.
Good morning, my name is Ray Lefwich. I'm the Interim Public Works Director for the City of Vacaville. The I-505 Vacaville Parkway Corridor Multimodal Improvements Project will include 3 roundabouts as well as a separate bicycle and pedestrian route for enhanced and improved flow of traffic for passenger vehicles, trucks, and especially for the bicycle and pedestrians. The project is currently in the preliminary engineering stage, as well as environmental permitting. It has a total budget of $16 million, and with the additional $4 million from the bipartisan infrastructure financing legislation, it will be fully funded and will be ready to begin construction in the fall of 2023, with full completion of the project in the spring of 2025.
2025. 2023, the shovels turn and underway. So we have our work cut out for us. We're going to have to go after that money and bring it back to this area along with the other elements necessary. One of the great pleasures I've had over the last several years is to work with the supervisors in this area. And the one that has been the really dear friend, in addition to a colleague for work, is John Vasquez, who represents most of the area around here. John, please join us and bring us the county perspective.
Well, I could get away by just saying ditto. I mean, both Mike and John have said so much about. But you know, the common word that was used there is friendship. And truly, you can elect people to represent you, but when they become your friends and they care about your community and the things that are important to you and your constituents, you couldn't ask for 2 finer individuals. I've had the pleasure of working with Mike when he represented part of this area, and with John, and now back to Mike. I don't know any 2 other electeds in Congress, in the state legislature, or at a local level that don't work as hard as they do. They have a long history of being committed to their communities, a long history of being those elected leaders, and we're fortunate. We truly are fortunate to have both of them here again representing Solano County. You know, that John gets part of Vacaville, Mike gets greater Vacaville. It's always that way. But when you talk about infrastructure, we can't do anything without that back, whether it's the water lines, sewer lines, electrical, or the roadways. And so Solano County's been fortunate. We have what was once called the Lincoln Highway, then became Highway 40, the first highway to link the country together. And on top of that, you have 505 here, we have 113, we have 12, we have 37, we have 680, and 780. We are fortunate to have this network of freeways that allow us to move goods, products, and allow us to grow. And there's nothing wrong in growth. It is important for the economic well-being of Solano County, for its residents. This is truly where the middle class comes from. And again, without the help of individuals such as Congressman Garamendi and Congressman Thompson, who are friends to Solano County, and I'm sure they're friends to everybody they represent. I don't want to call us out or single us out, but we're all partisan, right?
You are right there. With the Solano Transportation Authority, Don Burns, Director of the Economic Development. Don, here you are over that side. We're working on another big project here, aren't we, Don? We are. A very significant biomanufacturing opportunity may be coming to the community here. And Don, your good work on that's appreciated by all. Janet Adams, Janet, you're around here. Thought I saw you earlier with the Transportation Authority. Janie, we talked a moment ago about your work on the eastern side of the city, which is still, I may still be able to represent you there. And Jason Roberts with the Vacaville City Council also joining us. And now Daryl, it's your turn. There you go.
So, good morning. Daryl Hall, Executive Director of Solano Transportation Authority. Well, first of all, I want to thank Congressman Garamendi, Congressman Thompson. We could not have a better pair to work on behalf of this project or our county. I've had the opportunity to work with both of them for a number of years. To those of you who know Mike Thompson that well, if you've ever been to Jameson Canyon, the first investor in the widening of Jameson Canyon, beautiful paved corridor now, Congressman Mike Thompson way back when. So he felt the vision. Congressman Garamendi, we've been working together for years on ED 680, the North Kicker traffic, etc. There we go. Let me lead into this. Anyway, so we've got two outstanding leaders who've given us a year of opportunity. This infrastructure bill creates multiple categories that they've summarized. We're going to have to work together. We have a great partnership with Vacaville, Aaron and Ray. They're a city that delivers projects. When we get them the resources, they're known for delivering their projects. This is a project that they're excited about delivering. $4 million, and they're in construction next year. So think about the economic benefit for housing, for jobs, for education, for trucking, for biotech, you name it. It's such a golden opportunity, and we want to thank the congressmen for their help. We're there to support Vacaville. Vacaville was the first investor. We were the second investor. This is the last dollars in. So a small investment from the federal government can really help us deliver. So we're going to need your help. We're going to be asking for support letters. We put together grant applications. We're going to get phone calls from Vince or from someone from Vacaville saying, hey, can your business, can your community college, can your group help support this effort and talk about the benefits of this project? Congressional reps, thank you guys for being here, and let's roll up our sleeves and do some work. Thanks.
Now we move to the people from whom the money will flow. That would be Caltrans District 4. I don't have the name of the representative from Caltrans here. Well, we're going to go get them. We're going to run down to the Oakland office and we're going to say, send us the money. So that'll be where most of the money for this project will flow through that area. Mike and I are available for questions, as are the rest of the people who have spoken and those who have not. So if you have questions of us from the press, we're happy to answer this. Mike, come up and give me all of the support I'm going to need to answer these questions. You had all the numbers earlier. Perhaps you answered them all when you laid out all the funds, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, that wraps it up. I think we've, come on, we got another supervisor. Don't be shy. You've got the eastern side of the city.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, John. No, I'm not shy. But I just want to say thank you as well. Mitch Mashburn, Supervisor, 5th District here in Solano. The work that has been put into this is really significant and has been a great Herculean lift by the city and by our federal representatives to make this happen, and I'm very appreciative. When we talk about investment in our communities and things that are impactful, we have to look at projects like this. The last time we saw significant investment in infrastructure in our county, to give you an idea of how impactful it was the Solano Water Project. We built the dam at Lake Berryessa. And because of that, our county has water, our ag has water, and we have been able to grow as a county. That was a lot of forward thinking at that time. We are experiencing that right now. We have some very forward thinking people in our community, our leaders, who are looking at an investment in the future. They're looking at an investment that is impactful and that will allow our county to grow and grow appropriately, our region to grow and grow appropriately, all the way down into the Bay Area, moving forward. And so I thank you for that, for the thought that went into that, for the work that went into that, and for the growth that we're going to be able to experience, the smart growth we're going to be able to experience as a result. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mitch. Mitch, thank you very much. Mike, you and I have had these 10 years to work together in Congress on the issues of Solano County. And we're looking to the next 10 years to continue. The partnership that we've had will continue on. We're going to switch a little bit of territory, assuming the elections turn out as we would like them to turn out. But most important of all is the reality that you have a team here. You have our staff. I think many of you have met our staff. And Mike's staff is here, busily taking photos. So is mine, Aaron. I notice you're doing the same. So thank you so very much, Mike. You want to wrap?
Well, I'll just conclude by thanking everyone. This is a team effort, not only with John and I, but with the community. We're all in this together. This particular project that we're highlighting today is going to be instrumental for the area. It's so incredibly important, and I'm looking forward to turning that first shovel of dirt. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.